What's going on, everybody? Today we have a pretty special video for the process here with Ajax. So this has been a highly requested video throughout the year. It usually is. And today we are going to be covering all things player development as well as training schedules. Now, player development, obviously, hyper important because it is the development, especially of your young players, so that you are having the best possible squad available to you once you are able to get them to their max potential. However, with training schedules, a lot of people don't usually know what to do for them. Most people usually just kind of allow the assistant manager and coaches to kind of do their thing with it. However, today I'm going to be discussing how you can kind of get the best out of it yourselves. I have kind of delved into hours upon hours in the past couple of days to get the inner workings of what would make up the best possible training schedule for your club. But the first place we're starting is the development side of things. We're going to be going to the development center. Luckily for me here at Ajax, you'll see we have, instead of a U23 team or U21s, we have a B team. So that acts like a secondary club due to it being in the second division of the Netherlands. As we can see right here, our B team, or our U23s, U21s, is going to be playing against some pretty good competition. So development-wise, I don't really have to loan the players out from this team. They're going to be getting very good development by playing against some pretty good competition. And also notice that the B teams of not only Ajax, but AZ Alkmaar, PSV Eindhoven, and Utrecht are all within this division as well. None of them can be promoted either. So if they end up winning the league, finishing second, or finishing a playoff spot, there's no possible way that they can be promoted. But like I said, thankfully with us having a B team, we are able to get some pretty good development for our players. As we can see here, we have a boatload of potential within our B team, so it's going to help drastically. Also, one thing that will help with development, as you can see, one of the players who has the best ability is currently out on loan, is those loans. However, there is a trick to the loans that you definitely want to be doing. You don't just want to loan them out to any Tommy and any Billy. You want to make sure that you are loaning them out to the level that they are predicted to be good enough at, the standard that they are currently at. So, Tristan Goyer, he is labeled as a decent Eredivisie player. We have him loaned out at a Eredivisie level club at PEC Zwolle. However, Jane Benel is not loaned out yet. I can loan him out, and we will make sure that he is at an Eredivisie level club. I would say even trying to loan him to like a Skybet Championship type team as well. That could work out, especially if it is a club that has recently just been relegated from the Premier League. However, I wouldn't loan him out to a club within the division below us. One, I don't think he is going to get the development that he needs, but two, if he is playing at that level, he's going to absolutely dominate, which can definitely help with his development, but it's not really going to help him carry it over to that next level, if you get what I mean. So, someone like Precious Uglu, you see he is a leading Tweede Divisie player, which I believe that is the division underneath the division that young Ajax is within. So he's playing up a level, which is definitely going to help his development, not only with the training schedules that we have in place for the club, but also by playing up a level, which we can see he is already starting to develop a little bit as they've played 2 games. Now, player development definitely happens over time. It's not like you can do a whole heck of a lot to really truly influence it to take a player from here to outer space within a season. There are different methods that you can implement, such as training schedules, which we will get to in a moment because that's super in depth. But another thing that you can do, like what I am doing with Brian Brubby, is putting a training on him to kind of improve certain areas of his attributes. So if I go to his development and I go to training, I am going to be utilizing him as a winger on attack a majority of the time. So I am training him within that position. Everything in the green and blue is what is going to be kind of the focuses of that role. Green, primary, blue is the secondary. However, in that additional focus, I am also training him on crossing. As you can see, crossing is part of the secondary with this, and I am also training him on that. So not only is he going to be getting it from training in the winger on attack duty role, but also from the additional focus with the crossing. Now, when it comes to the intensity that you are putting on your players within training, you will see that they have a physio recommendation. Don't always do that. However, knowing what type of workload your player is going to be having within a game, that is definitely going to have an impact on how intense you want their training to be. I know that Brian Brubby is going to be very active within matches that he is playing in, so I am going to have it down to half intensity. He is also recovering from an injury, so having it at half intensity to make sure he doesn't re-aggravate that injury right away is pretty important. Now we're going to look at someone who has some versatility among the back line, Mr. Gaston Avila. I am most likely, when he is playing, either going to be playing him as a ball-playing defender or an inverted fullback on defend. Now, we can see he is a natural at playing as a ball-playing defender, so we are all good right there. However, we see that he needs a little bit more training to become 100% comfortable playing at left back, and especially in the inverted fullback on defend duty. He is already a natural in that. However, playing naturally at that left back position, not so much. So when going into his training, I wanted to make sure, all right, inverted fullback on defend is going to be the position, role, duty that we are going to be training him in. That is where I want to utilize him at first, because we already know he is a-okay to do it as a ball playing defender centrally. Now, additional focus is the ball control. I want to have ball playing defenders and defenders in general who are pretty good with the ball at their feet, and one of those attributes is dribbling. So we're going to want to make sure that we are focusing on the dribbling. And once again, with that intensity level, you have double intensity this time around. He's not going to be a starter game in, game out, so having it on double intensity is going to allow him to kind of still stay at that level of the starters without starting as many games. And really quickly, one thing that I want to hit on with player development, if you have players that are useful to you at the club, however, you cannot currently fit them in to your system, or you want to make sure that they're still happy getting the playing time that they want, loan them out, just like Ajax have done with a couple of players like Borna Sosa, Jakub Medic, and Carlos Borges. Now, a player like Carlos Borges, who is 20 years of age, it is important that he is getting playing time. And looking at his current ability, he is a good Eredivisie player. So him being loaned out to a club like Wolves within the Premier League makes a boatload of sense, because he is at the ability to make an impact for them, but also, while making an impact for them, it's going to grow his ability to potentially match what his potential is saying he can reach. So when it comes to having a little too many players at your club, don't always think the first thing that you need to do is sell them. Feel free, especially if they're younger, to loan them out, because they will be developing. And a player like a Borna Sosa here, who's 26 years old, will still be able to develop slightly, but not to the extent of a Carlos Borges, as we can see with his potential here, or even Nachi Univar as well. Now we're going to go ahead and head over to the training schedule portion of everything. This is about to get pretty in-depth. But before we do get into things, I have some news for you all. I have partnered up once again with Fanatical to bring you guys a discount for pre-ordering Football Manager. This year, Football Manager 25, you'll be able to get 22% off your pre-orders using code YGormy25. That is YGormy25, all caps. It will give you 22% off your pre-order if you wish to do so. However, there is a bonus to that pre-order code. It is not only eligible right now for pre-orders. I know a lot of people are kind of holding off on doing anything in regards to FM25. So that code, no matter if you're pre-ordering the game or if you end up buying the game after the pre-order portion is done and you kind of buy it on Black Friday or closer to Christmas, that code is eligible to get you 5% off all the way through to December 31st, the last day of the year. So definitely make sure to capitalize on that if you wish to do so. The link to pre-order along with my code will be down below in the description if you guys wish to check that out. But now let's go ahead and get into those training schedules. Training schedules I have gotten a lot of questions about, especially if I have my own training schedules available for download. Thankfully, due to today's video, I will have them available for download. However, they are kind of specific to this save depending on when the matches take place. Come FM25, I am going to have a full-fledged one out for you all. I might even do that kind of as an additional download post the end of the series for you all as well. But as we can see, we are in the training section right now, and we will be getting into the calendar along with the schedules because I make custom schedules. However, the first thing I want to cover is the coaches portion. The main thing you are going to want to make sure in regards to your coaches is that no one has a heavy workload. And as we can see, everyone either has average or even light workloads. So it's not too much on our coaches, and everything is going to go honky-dory with coaching our side. However, now we're going to take a look at the calendar. You can see I have had to play a couple games to kind of get up to where we are currently to where I could implement these training schedules and whatnot. So this week that I'm currently in, we'll have our first match of the season. It is a 2-match week. Hence, you've seen it a little bit grayed out. That is kind of the days that we've already gone through. So that schedule is the same as next week's schedule right here, where you see Cercle Bruges as well as Almere City FC. That is how I am setting up for a 2-match schedule with training. That following week is a 1-match schedule. You can definitely see that there is a difference. So now that we've kind of seen that, how exactly did I come up with them? We see right here the 1-match schedule. I'm going to be going over a few different ones that I have made. This, from my perspective, would be how I personally as a coach would want to set up my training for my side in a 1-match game week. That first day on the Monday, we are kind of focusing on a little bit of everything: attacking, defending, and goalkeeping. You can see the workloads right here for each area of the team: goalkeepers, defense, as well as the attack. That next day is going to be our heaviest day. We've got the match tactics breakdown, then match practice, along with recovery. We want to make sure that the players are getting some sort of recovery and not really pushing themselves too hard. Yes, match practice is going to be game-like, but having that recovery afterwards is going to be pretty important, making sure that we aren't kind of pushing our players too darn hard to where they get injured. Now, Wednesday, we've got ground defense with chance creation and conversion. Chance creation as well as chance conversion, those I like to see together. It just makes the most sense. With chance creation, you can see down here for the attack, you have crossing, passing, technique, decisions, flair, off the ball, as well as vision. Chance conversion focuses on all the other stuff: finishing, heading, long shots, technique, anticipation, as well as composure. And on both of them as well, the defensive and goalkeeping workloads are only at 20%. You see that priority? That is kind of the workloads for those groups. So our Wednesday is going to be a pretty heavy workload for the attack, not so much for the defensive and goalkeeping, even though with the ground defense, it is definitely focusing on the defense more so than the attack and goalkeeping. That Thursday, aerial defense, once again, focusing mainly on defense. We have chance creation again, because I think chance creation is absolutely vital. Yes, chance conversion, super vital as well. That's obviously your side scoring goals. But creating those chances, we definitely want to make sure we are doing as best as possible to be able to do so in creating chances to then convert. Now, play from the back, that is going to be focused, once again, on the defense, just like with aerial defense. So our Wednesday is focusing on our attack. Our Thursday is focusing on our defense. Tuesday is focusing on match prep. Monday, overall. You then have Friday, right before the match, because this is meant for any club, any league that has majority of their games on a Saturday. So that is where the match is. The one thing that we are working on prior to the match is goalkeeper distribution. We don't want any mistakes coming from our goalkeeper the day of the match, so why not practice before the match, the day before the match. There we go, I can English. So after that, we then have team bonding just to try and help with that team cohesion. Plus, why not do some team bonding before everyone gets super focused a couple hours before bed, thinking about the match, making sure that they are A-OK for match day the next day. Then Saturday would be that match. Sunday we would have recovery as well as the match review. Recovery on Sunday as well as that Tuesday, because the reason why we have it on the Tuesday, we are basically going through a match type workload between Monday and Tuesday up to that point when we would have our recovery session with the side. Now, let's say you have a 2-match type of week. You're a club in the Champions League. You're playing one of your matches on a Wednesday, as we see here. Then you have your league match on that Saturday. So, how would things go? Monday, we got ground defense, match tactics, chance creation. Focusing on the defense, prepping for the game so we know what kind of tactics and systems we are going to be implementing, and then our chance creation. Tuesday, here's my philosophy on things. Being that we have 2 matches in the same week, want to focus on those set piece routines. Then we have the goalkeeper distribution once again. You have that match focus. Next day is the match. You then have recovery, match review, recovery once again. I want to make sure that we are as kind of good to go for a little bit of training on Friday as possible, because the only thing we will be doing on that Friday is shot stopping with the goalkeepers. As we can see, 60% type workload for the goalkeepers, which really, the grand scheme of things, isn't that much. We want to make sure that they are getting busy. They would have already been busy during the Wednesday match, and they have a game the next day, but I want to make sure that they are staying on their toes, as that Thursday was recovery. This still gets the defense and the attack involved a little bit, as we can see, but this is going to help our goalkeeper improve in these areas as well. Then you have that match Saturday, then your recovery, and match review once again. Now, those 2 schedules that I have made, those will be some of them that are available for download. The other game days that I have it set up for training wise, as we can see here, the 1 match schedule for Sundays, then you have a Thursday, Sunday, a Thursday, as well as a Wednesday, Sunday. And like I said earlier, I will most likely be ending up making a training schedule for each type of game day week coming up fairly soon. Next thing I kind of want to cover with these training schedules is the preseason. Preseason is when you are trying to get your team fit, get them ready to go, and make sure that you also aren't at risk of too many injuries. So this is how I have it being a 1-match preseason week. We've got the attacking, defending, goalkeeping on that Monday, match tactics, practice, recovery on the Tuesday, ground defense, chance creation, chance conversion Wednesday, aerial defense, shot stopping, set piece routines on that Thursday, distribution Friday, team bonding also that Friday. You then have the match focus with the match on that Saturday and recovery on Sunday. When you are doing preseason, I highly suggest you do the best possible to have your preseason matches on Saturdays, or have it be a Wednesday, Saturday type week if you want to do 2 matches. I just feel that through testing and everything that I've done with all the saves I've done over the years, that has worked best for me. And then we have the 2-match preseason training schedule. Attacking, defending, goalkeeping that Monday. Match tactics, recovery Tuesday with that match focus. Then you have the match Wednesday. Match review, recovery, chance creation, set piece routines, team bonding, match focus, match, the match review, recovery. That is how it would be on a 2-match type week in the preseason. Then the last 2 that I want to hit on is 1, when you have international break. And then 2, when you don't have any games that week. So everyone's at the club and you don't have any games, you're just training. So the first one we're going to do is international break. How I see it, yes, you might have 5 to 7 players out on international break playing for their country, but you still got plenty of players still at the club. You're going to still be working. It's not like a 2-week type of vacation. They're still going to be putting in some work. So as we see up here, this is kind of everything that we are risking throughout these training schedules. Injury risk, not all too high, even though I have us training quite a bit during the international break. We've got attacking, defending, goalkeeping, ground defense, chance creation, conversion, aerial defense, chance creation, play from the back, shot stopping, distribution, routines, all in that same day. So we have a day kind of dedicated to the goalkeepers this time around. Then Friday, this is the most highly impactful day, I think. Endurance, resistance, recovery. When training your endurance, your stamina, natural fitness, and work rate will be going through that endurance. Resistance is balance, jumping reach, strength, work rate, aerial reach. Improving that is vital. You want a hard-working team that can outrun, outplay, outjump everybody that you play against. And by doing endurance as well as the resistance, that is going to help big time. Then that Saturday is recovery, match tactics, just a kind of like a review section, and then team bonding. And then that Sunday is a full-on rest day. So if you have a full 2 weeks before your players are back from international duty, this schedule would be perfect to implement with your players to continue development, continue them staying fresh, and if you wish to kind of move a player or two up to train with your first team to get the kind of first team level of training, this is the perfect time to do it with a schedule like this. And then now we have the no match schedule. It's kind of like the international break one. However, you're definitely going to want a little bit more rest because you are going to be training essentially every single day doing something. So attacking, defending, goalkeeping on that Monday. Tuesday, ground defense, chance creation, chance conversion. Wednesday, aerial defense and play from the back. That is a dedicated defense day right there. Thursday, routines, match practice, recovery. We want to make sure we're throwing that recovery in there because that match practice is going to be quite a bit. Then that next day, it's going to be endurance, resistance, recovery. Once again, going to be quite a bit that day. Then you have attacking shadow play and defensive shadow play. So what these shadow plays kind of do training-wise is it's going to have major effects on mental sides of the game. Anticipation, composure, decisions off the ball, and teamwork for your attack. Then anticipation, concentration, decisions, positioning, and teamwork for the defense. Anticipation, decisions, positioning, and teamwork for the goalkeeping. Then for the defense, it is essentially that, but the opposite. It's more so going to be focused on the defense. Anticipation, concentration, decisions, positioning, teamwork. Then anticipation, composure, decisions, off the ball, teamwork for the attack. And once again, anticipation, decisions, positioning, teamwork for your goalkeepers. And then on that Sunday, we have match tactics along with team bonding. Notice how I have 3 kind of blocks of rest within here. Yes, we have the 2 for recovery, but we also have 3 blocks of rest. So they're going to be getting plenty of recovery and resting time. It's not like we are kind of drilling them to the bone. We are making sure that, yes, we are getting a lot of work done. But as we can see up here, the injury risk is still pretty darn low. So we're getting a lot of work done, most likely a lot of development as well. But we are making sure that we aren't putting anyone at too high a risk of injury. And really quickly with the training, when you are creating your own training schedules, this is the perfect opportunity to come up with the perfect schedule for you or for your club and what you're trying to achieve. If it's big time development, you're going to want to make sure that you're trying to do everything possible to improve your players' development as quickly as possible. So doing days like we have the Mondays with the attacking, defending, and goalkeeping, those are going to be major days of improvement. You can see from the attributes right here where each group is going to be improving. So when it comes to those total team training days, such as the Monday in this schedule with the attacking, defending, and goalkeeping, everyone is involved. So everyone is going to be improving in certain areas. Some definitely more so than others, but on those Wednesdays and Thursdays where we have the chance creation, conversion, as well as the ground and aerial defense, playing from the back, those are still pretty important as well, because you still can cover a lot of the same facets of the game as you would on a Monday schedule like we have, but it's not going to be as strenuous on the players. And how can we tell it's not going to be as strenuous on the players? Because of the workloads, once again, which are all these bars right here. So there we have it for today's episode of The Process with Ajax, everything player development and training. Like I said a couple times throughout the video, all those training schedules are going to be available for download through my Discord, which will be linked down below in the description. That is where you guys are going to be able to find it within the download section of the Discord. The next episode of this mini-series is going to be covering all things recruitment. I'll be showing how I kind of went about recruiting the players that I did to this Ajax side, including none other than Mr. Chris Richards right here, so you can kind of see my thinking behind how I go about player recruitment and all that stuff. But if you happen to enjoy today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so I want to hit that sub button. And until next time, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.